Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Great Hour, a program that's brought to you courtesy of the Great Nationhood Party of Kenya. My name is Mudiora Kariara, and I'm running for President of the Republic of Kenya under the banner of TGN. This evening, we would like to share all the positive vibes that we can raise from within ourselves because I bet for some it's been a difficult week, but no matter how bad it has been, know this: God has your back, God has a plan for you, and no matter how big a challenge you're facing, God will surely see you through it because He's the one that determines our destiny. The Great Hour is a political platform where we get to review current affairs, we look at the economy, and of course, other social matters that have transpired within the past couple of days. And today, there is quite a number of issues that we'll be discussing. And I'm so glad that I have a number of people who have joined us. Thank you very much. I would like to acknowledge in our midst Kofi Gadud, the incoming Member of Parliament for Kamukunji constituency. On the panel, I can see we have Richard, we have Elisha, we have Monaka Harakati, Ewa Mukoya. Yes, I'm so glad that today we have a full house. So in case you're just joining us, I'm gonna urge you to share this link to your Facebook page or profile so that others are able to join in. It's an open platform where you'll have an opportunity to express yourself on the issues that we are discussing. This is a great hour, a friendly, interactive platform where patriots come together to see what ideas exist and can be implemented so as to make Kenya great. Thank you so much for your time. I would like to take this opportunity to ask you to prepare to be with us for the next 1 hour. That's how long this program is going to take. Go to the comment section, leave a message, like, share these broadcasts. And besides that, just be part of it and know that it comes to you thrice in a week. Today is a Saturday. We were supposed to start at 6 p.m., which is the time we start on Mondays as well, and Wednesdays. So I'm really happy that I can see the numbers are growing. In case you just joined us and you do not know what's up, jina langu ni Mudiora Kariara. Mimi ni kinara wa chama cha TGN. TGN inasimamia the Great Nationhood Party of Kenya. Hapa tunaamini kwamba taifa la Kenya, tofauti na lile ambalo tunalo kwa sasa, linawezekana. Taifa ambalo linazingatia sana masuala ya kila mwananchi, ile kwa Kiingereza tunaita dignity. Taifa ambalo linaweka mikakati ili kuinua haki za kila mwananchi. So social justice is a thing and matter that we take very seriously at TGN. Now, the following are going to be issues that we'll be discussing. In the course of the week, there was a national delegates conference that happened at Bomas. The Independence Party, KANU, called up its delegates so they could nominate a candidate that's going to square it out with others in the forthcoming general election. And thousands came to Bomas. In case you did not follow the proceedings, at the end of it, Gideon Moi, Honorable, a son to Kenya's second president, was nominated to carry the flag for KANU. We'll be discussing that on this program. Another big thing that happened was the president ordered that the recommendations by that task force that was looking into what can be done to lower the cost of power be implemented, and he gave a very specific timeline. We'll be looking into that. Now, that aside, we are in the campaign season, even though it's not official, and political actors are coming together, forming alliances and coalitions. And there is one where there's a lot of hope and optimism because of the caliber of people that are coming together. We'll be discussing that, and I happen to be part of that coalition. So in case you see that I'm a little too friendly towards that, no, it's because I'm part of it and I can guarantee results. Now, that aside, leave a comment to say what else you'd like us to look into, because I'm sure there's quite a lot. In the background, remember, we've had those attacks in Laikipia. There was a security operation that was instituted. We've not heard a lot from our media about what's happening in Laikipia. Would you happen to know what's going on in Laikipia? Please join us, weka kwenye comments. Pia niambie kama ungependa nikuweke kwenye hii broadcasts. Nitakuunganisha ili maoni yako yafikie wanaotutazama kwa njia ya moja kwa moja. Angalia kwamba tuna wenzetu, hawa wageni na pia wachangiaji. Ninaye ambavyo nilikuwa nimetaja hapo awali, Hassan Abdi Aziz, ambaye anawania kuwa mbunge wa Kamkunji. Mbali na Hassan, ninaye kiongozi Richard na nina wengine ambao watajiunga nasi. Kwa hiyo, great people who have made time for us. Let's get this show on the road. But before I do, let me give an opportunity to those already with us on the panel to say something. And I would like to start with the incoming member of parliament for Kamkunji, Kofi Gadud. Naona umevalia kofia yako nyekundu, hiyo trademark hujaiacha. Tafadhali wasalimu wale ambao wamejiunga nasi, waambie neno la kwanza kwenye opening remarks, alafu tuende kwa Richard, kisha tuingie kwenye mazungumzo ya siku ya leo. Abdiaziz, karibu. Salimia ambao wako na sisi leo jioni.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Abdiaziz Hassan. I am former MP candidate for Kamkunji in 2017 elections, and I'm running again for the same position in Kamkunji on a UDA ticket. So honored to be part of this show for the second time. Last week I came very late, and my brother Muthiora Kariada, the TGN party leader, was generous enough to give me almost 30 minutes to speak to the great Kenyans. So much welcome, and I can't wait to dive in today's topic. I can remember one of the themes was the inauguration of or the endorsement of Gideon Moi. So in UDA, Gideon Moi we call him the baby boy, the Rift Valley baby boy politician. So it's very minor issue compared to whatever we are expecting to carry out in Rift Valley and in the larger Kenya in general. Gideon was just trying to show that he was, or his party rather, was having an activity, because I believe he has no chance come 2022 or beyond.
I get that, Abdiaziz, and I know you have so much to say. We have a whole hour to discuss the whole KANU matter. So just hold on to that. Let us have Richard introduce himself, and then we'll get into the debate proper. Richard, I'm sure you can hear me. Please dive right in.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Mr. President.
Good evening, Richard.
I'm Mr. Abdiaziz. I'm happy to be in attendance today in today's meeting. This is my first meeting, and I really appreciate even for the work you're doing. Even the caucuses you're holding with other like-minded candidates. My only concern is that don't paint yourself with other people who might have questionable characters. That's my main concern. Although you haven't had any case, let us be focused with our activities, and I'm sure we are going to do a lot of things. We just need to believe in ourselves. Let us create awareness about TGN on Twitter, Facebook, everything. We just need to be focused. And as they say, long journey starts with one step, and TGN is greater than we believe. Thank you for brief remarks.
Well, Richard, thank you very much for your opening remarks. You've quoted, and correctly, that every journey starts with a single step. Actually, I believe the words are, the journey of 1,000 steps starts with a single step. And we've made our baby steps. Right now, TGN as a party is walking, and soon it's going to be running. Now, let's get into it. The crux of the matter is that parties and political players are positioning themselves so they can scoop as much as they can get as we head towards the 2022 elections. Gideon Moi put together a team, and they call themselves One Kenya Alliance. And to gain legitimacy, he adhered to what KANU's constitution says, and he called the NGC, and after the NGC, he called the National Delegates Conference at Bomas, and they endorsed him to be their flag bearer in the forthcoming election. So imagine this. The second president's son is angling towards becoming president not so long after his father left office. Currently, the president of Kenya happens to be a son to the founding president. So we have an opportunity to elect our fifth president. And it so happens that out of the 5, yes, 4 may happen to have come from the same family. Well, I would like to start this conversation on that note. Is Kenya that small that we can only pick from such a small pool? Abdiaziz, this is where you come in. And please be bold, be blunt. Abdiaziz, I believe you can hear me. Yes, Abdiaziz, the floor is yours.
Yes, I can hear you. I'm having network problems, so please bear with me if I don't respond on time. So we were discussing the endorsement of Gideon Moi. Are we?
Yes, sir. Yes. And just in case you didn't hear what I said, I have counted that in 2022 will be elected the 5th president of Kenya. And out of the 5, in case Gideon Moi becomes president, out of the 5, 4 will have come from just 2 families. Is Kenya that small? Should we just focus on such a small pool, or can we do better? Or how did we even find ourselves here?
I think I think I think we would be very reckless if we concentrate so much and put a lot.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, great people who are with us this evening. It appears we lost Abdiaziz Hassan, aka Kofi Gadud. He's just mentioned that he's having network issues. Well, I'm sure he's going to sort that out, and he'll be joining us.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now,
well,
if you will allow me.
He's back. Please.
Yes,
right
I said it will be very reckless of us if we put so much emphasis or so much focus on trying to lock out two communities from the leadership or from holding the leadership of this country. It is permissible to suggest that other communities are given chance, but to suggest that only these two communities can no longer vie for the position of the presidency or can no longer rule this nation is to be very unfair, to be very tribalistic, and I think that is very reckless.
Just hold up before you go too far. I hope you can hear me. I did not mention communities.
No.
I mentioned families. We had Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. Currently, we are led by his son, His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Kenya's second president was Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, whose son, Gideon Moi, got KANU's endorsement to run for president in 2022, and he hopes to win. So if he does, I'm counting that out of the 5 presidents that Kenya will have had since independence will have come from just 2 families. And the question is, why is the pool so small? How did we find ourselves here? Should we let it be? Or it's okay, we are good, Kenya is fine? No communities.
No.
I'm talking about the small pool of families in charge of Kenya.
Yes, yes. I think those 2 families also represent some their communities, and they have the backing of their community at all times. And whenever you try to touch one of them, ni kama umeguza mtu yao. So I think it is still the same thing we are discussing, but now I told you Gideon Moi stands no chance, so you should not worry so much about Gideon Moi. We will not have a candidate from Kenyatta family. This has already served his 2 terms, and we don't see any potential candidate from the Kenyatta family right now. So, I think that discussion is dead on arrival. Both Moi family and Kenyatta family can no longer produce any tangible or any serious presidential candidate.
Okay, so
what we should rather talk about is how to embrace the candidature of my presidential candidate, William Samoei Ruto, and how we can make him the 5th president, and how we can convince Baba that hii kitu imekukataa, uende tu nyumbani and umesaidia hii nchi ile uwezo ulikuwa nayo, sasa usiharibu kinyo umetengeneza.
Hassan, tulia. Ninavyojua mimi ni kwamba Baba amejaribu kuwa rais mara kadhaa, but your preferred presidential candidate William Samoei Ruto has never run for president, so hatujui kama itamkataa. Sasa wewe unafikiria ni rahisi tumwambie Baba aconsider huyo ambaye ndo anaanza? How do you even start such a conversation?
Yes, because my 5th president and my party leader and the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, Mr. William Ruto, has never lost any election that he has participated.
Because he has
That is
never
the record we have.
attempted the presidential race. Those are other positions.
But we can judge him with the current record he has. We have something to go by,
Okay,
we can easily predict
in 1997, and in his first attempt, he won.
We can predict
after that, every election that he has run in, he has won.
Yeah.
So his track record in terms of winning elections is very good.
Is very good. He understands the system. He recently defeated the handshake and the system and the deep state at Kiamba constituency. Hands down, my friend. So we cannot underestimate the power of a committed man. No surrender, no retreat. We are going to win this thing. And Baba, I feel for him because he's going to lose again. I feel for him, but what do we do? He's addicted to losing.
Okay, I cannot allow you to keep talking about other presidential candidates when you are on a platform that has a presidential candidate. Now, let us weigh your preferred presidential candidate on the following metrics. It's okay. This is an open forum. Now, this is what I mean. Okay, Hassan, tell me, at TGN, we believe in patriotism. We believe in integrity. We believe in courage, vision, and action. Looking at your preferred presidential candidate, how do you think he fares on those 5 metrics, the pillars under which TGN is founded? Start with patriotism.
Patriotism is something that is not in any Kenyan. There is no patriotism in Kenyan politics. And we cannot expect to just wake up one day and every Dick and Harry in the Kenyan politics becomes or starts claiming to be a patriot. We don't have patriots.
Well, we are not talking about every Tom, Dick, and Harry. We are talking about your preferred presidential candidate.
We cannot bring that great man into this discussion because.
Why not? Why not? He's a public figure. He lives his life very publicly. His bills are paid by the Kenyan public. So by all means, we have a right to discuss whatever it is that we Kenyans would like about him. And this is patriotism we are talking about. And right after patriotism, I would like you to weigh the kind of a man he is when it comes to that tenet of integrity, that very important principle. So please do not shy away. Talk about those issues because you're the one that supports William Samoei Ruto. And you're here representing him today, and we are very clear. We would like you to help us understand or see why you chose the path that you chose.
I chose the path I chose because I want to win in 2022. I don't want to try again to participate in an election just for the sake of participating. I want to win. I want results. And I think UDA is the only vehicle, political outfit right now out there that has all the reasons to win big. And big, I mean, over 70 to 80% of the next parliament will be made up by UDA. I can tell you the deputy president has all that it takes to go to the State House. Talk about resources, talk about strategy, talk about charisma, talk about energy, talk about hardworking, talk about understanding the political environment of this country. So I think UDA is a very strong vehicle, and we cannot deny its influence. And our party leader is well tested, and he has proved always that he achieves whatever goal he sets for himself, for his party, for his coalition, or for his people, for his Kenyan people. It is in his partnership with the current president, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, when they formed Jubilee, they are the first people to introduce us to Huduma Kenya. You can see right now, someone can register their company while at home. Just go to your eCitizen account, register your business, make everything. So they have digitalized the Kenyan public service delivery. They have connected electricity to more than 3 million Kenyans. They have built road networks that is beyond the imagination where whoever was opposing them in 2013. They brought SGR. I'm telling you, my friend, now what we are talking about is Nairobi Expressway, the biggest project this country has ever undertaken. So my preferred presidential candidate, Honorable William Ruto, has always been part of the winning side. He has always been creative in the negotiation table. I'm telling you, he has all it takes to win elections. He has the experience. He has the energy. He's younger than most of his competitors. And for example, Raila Odinga, his main competitor right now. And William Ruto can traverse this country, can visit more than 10 counties in a single day. It will take Raila Odinga 45 days to do what Ruto does in a single day. That's how far the measurement is, my friend. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I will apologize if my language is not the right language.
You do not have to apologize.
Yeah.
It's good to state your stand and to give reasons, which is what you have been doing. But then the track record you've been mentioning is one that has led Kenya into a debt hole that we may never come out of if we continue with the level of seriousness that we see around us. Yes, SGR was constructed, but at what cost? Electricity connection improved under the current regime. There's no doubt about that. It's a good thing. It has transformed lives. But the question is, at what cost? We know there are homes that were connected to the grid, but after they exhausted the free tokens that were allocated to them, they've never been able to afford to reload the token so they can continue to use the electricity, which means that project, noble as it was not thought through properly, because I believe, and at TGN we have discussed this, the best way to go about any project is to ensure that the government invests in the sectors that will deliver benefit to the biggest chunk of the population. So they should have first invested this big money that they borrowed in a way that would empower Kenyans to be able to afford the kind of life they're trying to get Kenyans to get accustomed to. Now, you have mentioned a lot of other things, and I cannot take it away from you that yes, the deputy president knows how to win. He's been part of winning teams, winning political outfits. But going forward, Kenya is at a critical point where if we continue to do things the way we have done them, we are going to sink further into debt and we may never recover. And that's how we lose future generations when in fact we can rise and join the First Nations. Now, that aside, we've talked about Gideon Moi's lackluster performance to be, even though he's in the race. We've dispelled that. We have seen a cabinet reshuffle. The president went into some ministries, moved departments. After moving departments, he also switched people. Kofi Gadot, do you think the reshuffle or should I say mini reshuffle, that the president did in the course of the week was so they can deliver services better to Wanjiko, or it was just a political gimmick and positioning? What's your position about the mini reshuffle? And just to put it clearly, you remember we had the cabinet secretary in charge of defense being moved. We had the cabinet secretary in charge of devolution being moved. And there was the other position of energy where Keter was also moved. What did you make of these appointments, Kofi Gadud? And by the way, before you answer it, let people understand what Kofi Gadud means, and please touch it. Yes, start there, Kofi Gadud.
Yes, Kofi Gadud is a Somali word that means red cap or kofia nyekundu.
Actually, wambie na Kiswahili.
Kofia nyekundu. Kofi Gadud inamaanisha kofia nyekundu kwa lugha ya Kisomali. Mimi ni Msomali na Kofi Gadud is how I branded myself after 2017, after my attempt, political attempt in 2017. I thought maybe not relating to the ground, and people find it difficult to pronounce my long name, Abdiaziz Hassan. It's so boring, you know. So I've come up with this political stage name, Kofi Gadud, and I go with this kofia or this red cap. I use it on my daily activities. I walk around with it. I attend the functions wearing it. Use on even the name on my Facebook is Abdiaziz Kofi Gadud. So if you log into Facebook and search for Abdiaziz Kofi Gadud, this is what will come up. Coming back to the reshuffle of the cabinet secretaries, I think Kenyans have don't have a lot of business in all these reshuffles, because it adds no value to the ordinary people's lives, to the ordinary Kenyans' life, to the hustler nation. It adds no value. It's just some dynasty guys replacing some other dynasties. Dynasty moving from House A to House B. So I think we should not waste a lot of time trying to explain things that are already public knowledge.
Okay, so that's your take about the mini reshuffle, that we should not concern ourselves with what happens. That's what you have to say.
Yes. Because
okay.
At the end of the day, none of them went to school to study, or none of them is a professional of whatever office they are holding. They are holding those offices only because they are privileged more than others.
Tuiseme hivi, acha nikupe hii picha vizuri. Mheshimiwa Keter alikuwa ndo waziri kwenye wizara ya energy, hapo ambapo Mheshimiwa Rais ameambia ambao wako wahakikishe bei ya stima ama umeme inashuka by a third. Kwa hiyo amemng'oa Keter ambaye anahusishwa na Deputy President William Ruto, na akasema kazi ifanywe ili wananchi wapate nafuu kwa bei ya stima. So don't you think that move, put together with the departments that were moved from the Ministry of Water, is it's an affront kwa watu wanaomsupport naibu wa rais? Hello, kama umenipata, manake kunao ambao wanafikiria kama mimi kwamba the mini reshuffle had more to do with politics than service delivery.
That's what I told you, my friend. That's what I told
Okay.
you. It has nothing to do with service delivery. These people are placed in those positions so that I'm being disturbed by WhatsApp calls. Forgive me.
Well, people have seen you on TV, on the Muthiora
Yes.
profile. It's the great
Yes,
hour.
yes.
People are watching. So
Yes,
they want to acknowledge that you're making sense.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
please, I'm urging you, give Abdiaziz Hassan a moment to complete the show. You can comment him after the show. We have just 25 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for bringing that
Yes,
up.
I told
Now,
I told you the reshuffle has nothing to do with service delivery, and it doesn't have the interest of the ordinary people, the ordinary Kenyans at heart. These are people placed in those positions so that Fulani and Fulani can benefit from their existence and from their signatures. Corporations depend on such nominations. International organizations run their businesses do business with the Kenyan government simply because someone is at that docket or this docket. So I think the UDA focus and the Hustler Nation focus is not on these side shows, these reshuffles, these endorsements. We have our eyes on the prize. We are going to State House. We are winning the 2022 general elections. So I think that is where everyone should focus. You know, we intend to bring back the Ruto of 2017. You remember how active His Excellency William Ruto was in his first term with his president Uhuru Kenyatta. That energy is what we need to bring back.
okay, very fair. We can let the matter rest. Now, as the party leader of the Great Nationhood Party of Kenya, I would like to confirm that as much as the president gave directives with regard to the cost of power being lowered, his directive is likely not to work because what makes our power expensive are the taxes. And to change those, we have to go to parliament and amend things there. This cannot be the work of a task force or officers in a ministry. So do not have your hopes up that things are going to change. We hope they will. But let's focus on the prize, like Abdiaziz just said. Sasa, Hassan, if you are a member of parliament for Kamkunji like you're looking to become, what action would you have taken with regard to lowering the price of fuel and electricity? I'm sure the people of
for Kenyans or for Kamkunjians?
Yes. As a member of parliament, what would you do?
You know, a good member of parliament is expected to champion for the rights of his constituents first. So I will champion for the rights and will voice out the concerns that they have and table them in the House. But apart from that, I have my own programs I have already designed for my people of Kamkunji. So I will not try to convince the public that I will have the sole energy or the sole power to articulate things in the parliament. We have other members who come from different political parties who stand for different ideologies. So it is all about persuasion and proper leadership in the House. So I will not indulge so much into that discussion. Rather, I will suggest few things that I will do for my Kamkunji people. First, I will make use of the entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial spirit of the people of Isili. We have a very large population in Isili, and we have a lot of resources in Isili, and I will open a window for public-private partnerships. For example, I will introduce affordable housing project in our slums. Because we have idle land.
I like the angle you've taken, and I'm glad you mentioned that you would explore public-private partnerships, because that's the way to go. Where Kenya is at right now, we cannot afford to take any more loans.
So I will
fix the problems we have. And I'm glad you're thinking in that way.
Yeah. Yes. I will, for example, go to the Majengo slums, the Kiambiu slums, the Motherland slums, and convince the residents to sign a contract with my partners.
Okay. Allow me to
build them cheap, affordable, and decent houses, and hand them over to them. Hand it over to them when the project is completed, and make it easy for the investors to make profit. And
I get you, Abdi, and thank you for the point. We have Richard back on. Richard, I hope you can hear me. We are talking about the cost of power and fuel in Kenya. And Abdi just mentioned that given an opportunity to serve, he would push for public-private partnerships. Now, we know that the one component that makes our energy so expensive is the component of independent power producers. We know that they do not produce majority of the power that we consume in Kenya, yet a huge chunk of the money that Kenya Power and Lighting Company raises goes to them. Richard, what do you think about this whole setup? What would you say to the fact that these independent power producers, when called to parliament, would not even reveal who the actual owners of some of those companies are? Yes, go on. Richard, if you can hear me.
This is a cartel business, and that is the reason why they cannot give information on who are the owners. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Me? Thank you. Yes, of course.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Richard.
Hello.
You are live, and this is the Great Hour.
Hello.
Carry on. Yes, Richard, I can hear you.
What I wanted to say is that if the reason why the cost of power is so high, especially for the supply from the independent power producers, they are cartels, and they are cartels, and they are mainly owned by politicians. They are owned by politicians. That is my thinking, and that is why they don't want to give information about it. And if you were to bring down the cost of power, we would encourage everyone who would want to supply power to Kenya Power. And anyway, in any case, Government should not make profit. KPLC should not be making profit. It should produce power to supply to investors so that the economy can grow. That is my viewpoint. Otherwise, if you encourage, especially diesel-driven power is very expensive as opposed to solar, which because of the technology of solar is improving by day.
Well, Richard, I get the point you're trying to make, and it's
Can you
valid.
hear me?
Yes, I can. And you've mentioned about thermal power generation. It's a dirty technology, and this is what we've been trying to phase out. For your information, great people, if you didn't know, the energy requirements for this nation are surpassed by the supply. Our supply is greater than the demand. That I can tell you. What KenGen produces is more than we can consume. Yet, we have independent power producers in the equation who make our electricity expensive. It's time we pushed further, we pushed harder, so that we get value for every cent of our tax. And it's not just tax because we buy power, we need to pay the right price for the power that's delivered to us. Now, that aside, I would like us to venture into the last topic, and this is with regards to the Mount Kenya Foundation that were at Safari Park, and they met a top 2022 presidential contender in the name of Raila Odinga, who up to now still claims that he has not declared he's running for president. So, Richard, if you can hear me, we've just switched up and we are now talking about the engagement that Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga had with the Mount Kenya Foundation. Your thoughts about this, please.
Yes.
Yes, go on.
Yes. Well,
Richard,
they want to exercise their financial muscles. It's not that they don't have an interest at heart for our country, just intimidating us that they are the men who says. But I believe it's yes, it's a matter of perception, and I believe we can take them head on, regardless of whether they own the country or not. We just want to bring the idea to the people, and we'll win their hearts. Because I believe when you're doing our campaigns, we'll not be lying to people that we are going to do bottoms-up economy, making the economy grow by 10%, knowing very well what the government has done. We must be true to our word, what we are going to do for the country and what we should be able to achieve for the next 5 years if you were to take the government. And especially so, those guys, the political figureheads who do business with the government, leaving the poor Kenyans at their mercy. And that is what I believe the so-called Mount Kenya Foundation are driving to, not the interest of the country, but their business to perpetuate. That's my point.
Thank you very much. And great people, I would like to appreciate your contribution. I see Saimo has been here and he says, let's link up Honorable Muthiora Karriara. Of course we will. And as you can see, I'm reaching out. I have this platform that we call the Great Hour where I engage Kenyans directly. So yes, this is a platform we should link up on. Thank you very much, Saimo. Julius Langat, thank you for the congratulations. Unasema hapo Eko Muthiora. Nashukuru sana. Saimo adds and says that our time as young people is ripe and the older crop of leaders must bow out. It's about time. And I agree with him totally that it is time. The Kenyan youth and young people form the bulk of the population, over 75% of us, yet we are still the marginalized majority. Confusing, right? Let's take the reins of control in this country. We can vote in people who look like you and me, people who grapple with the problems that we face each day and know what their solutions are. I agree with you, Saimo. Asante sana. Becky, thank you very much. You say good evening, right? Good evening, Becky. Someone wants the leak graph. Thank you for joining us. Yes, so on this program, we give you an opportunity to engage directly with members of the Great Nationhood Party of Kenya. And gladly, I, the party leader, takes lead on this. We've been discussing about what was hot politically in the course of the week. We've talked about KANU, we've talked about Mount Kenya Foundation, we've talked about the cost of power being lowered by a third. And of course, we've mentioned what the pillars of the Great Nationhood Party are. The Great Nationhood Party of Kenya is a social democratic party that is underpinned by the Utu philosophy. Utu, that Swahili word that refers to the essence of being, that natural attraction that exists between people, you and that other person, you and the environment. That's the kind of ideology under which TGN is formed. We urge people to join us because together we can get to deliver the dream of a great nation of Kenya. We are seeking out candidates for positions straight from members of county assembly to members of parliament, senators, women representatives, governors. And like I have said, I'm running for president under the TGN banner. So in 2022, we'll be fielding candidates across board. The only way we can make an impact is if you join us, you support our party activities, and eventually, during election day, you come out, cast your vote in favor of TGN and all the candidates will have on the ballot. That way, Kenya has a chance to restart, to reboot. We know how things have been, and we are not happy about it. We see how things are with the high cost of living, impunity, lack of constitutionalism, lack of adherence to the rule of law, and we know that we cannot continue this way. Kenyans know where this nation should go. A nation that has social justice, a nation where human rights are critical and respected. Human dignity is everything, regardless of what class of society you belong in. Sisi kama wanachama wa TGN tumejitoa mhanga kuhakikisha kwamba tutaliinua taifa la Kenya na kulifanya kuu. Taifa linaweza likawa kuu ikiwa serikali inalinda haki zote za kila mwananchi. Soma katiba yetu uone kwamba tulijipa katiba ambayo kwenye kipengele cha 43, Article 43, if we implemented our constitution correctly, we would have quality, affordable, and accessible healthcare. Our children would have an education that would empower them to employ themselves, or at least to to create jobs that would employ others. Kuna maswala mengi sana, na ili Kenya ibadilike, lazima wewe kama mwananchi mzalendo ujitoe mhanga, ujinyime leo ili kesho iwe bora. Hili linawezekana. Mimi kama kiongozi wa TGN nimekuwa najituma, na pamoja na wengine tumejaribu mfumo ambao kweli utainua taifa la Kenya. Na warai wananchi wazalendo, tutembee pamoja, tusihadaiwe ambavyo tumehadaiwa hapo awali. Isije ikawa kwamba tutagawanywa kwa misingi ya kikabila, tutagonganishwa, hata ifike mahali ambapo jirani atamchukia jirani mwenzake, achukue silaha na hata kumdhuru na kuharibu mali yake. 2022 uwe ni mwaka ambao tutafanya siasa tofauti na ambavyo tumeifanya hapo awali. Na kuomba jiamini kwamba si lazima upate maagizo kutoka kwa kiongozi wa kitaifa. Wewe hapo ulipo ni kiongozi. Hatma ya Kenya iko mikononi mwako. You are who Kenya has been waiting for. So please take charge, take control. For those who do not know, teach them. Let them understand that we have just this one nation and we can make it great so it can continue to take care of us. Yes, things are not as awesome as they should be today, but we can make them great. And guess what? That power lies in our hands. I believe as much, and I want you to do the same so that every action you take today going forward will be an action that, when put together collectively with the actions of others, will move Kenya forward. Join us at TGN. Support and participate in this political process that will lead to us ushering in a new regime. A regime where we should not vote in people who are corrupt. Let us have a government of people who are accountable, people who have integrity, people who have a vision to make this nation great, people who take action. Sio kusema tu, bali pia kuna kutenda, na sio kudeflect lawama eti kwamba haikuwa kwa kuwa wale walifanya hiki na kile. Jiunge nasi katika chama cha The Great Nationhood. TGN ipo kubadili hali yako wewe Mkenya wa kawaida, ikuunganishe na wale ambao tayari wamefaulu, ili kwa pamoja tulifanye taifa la Kenya kuwa kuu. We have a plan and it's called the Value Addition Plan. Our plan will look to increase productivity in manufacturing and agriculture so that we can create the jobs that Kenyans need. In order for us to do this, we must end corruption. And TGN is big and bold on ending corruption. We are a party that comprises of people who have not been involved in any corrupt acts in the past. And we do not intend to change, because we know that a nation that's built by people of integrity will stand the test of time. So we end corruption, we increase efficiency. When we increase efficiency and productivity, we'll have an environment where we can uplift Kenyans from poverty. When we give a promise that we will have quality, accessible, and affordable healthcare to all Kenyans, it's a promise we know we can keep. So please, join us, and together, let us make the dream of a great Kenya possible. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being part of the Great Hour. I would like to thank my contributors, Hassan Abdiaziz, aka Kofi Gadud, the incoming Member of Parliament for Kamukunji. Richard Charagu was with us. We had Elisha, who is aspiring to become the next senator of Mombasa. together with all those who have left his comments, those who have shared this broadcast, those who have told others about the great hour. I would like to personally thank you and urge you to continue being part of what TGN is doing. My name is Muthiora Kariara. I'm running for President of the Republic of Kenya, and I pray that God blesses this great nation of Kenya. Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye for now. See you on Monday when we'll have another episode of The Great Hour. Remember, we do this on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, starting at 6 p.m. God bless you as we sign out right now. Thank you.